Hello, my name is Vadim Goberman, and I'm here today to tell my story that a lot of people find pretty exciting. Hopefully, this story can help people overcome some hard things in their life and start believing that pretty much anything is possible if you work hard enough for it. I'll start my story with me joining the military, being an immigrant in Israel from Ukraine. Uh, I still didn't speak Hebrew very well. My language wasn't that great, and I wanted to sacrifice myself to the army. This Jewish idea got really into me, and I really wanted to give and really didn't want anything back from it. So that's why, being an only child, I had to really fight my parents to sign like a waiver slash release form for me to go to combat units. It was actually very hard because my mom, she didn't want to sign it, and I actually had to stop talking to her for over a year. So she actually agreed to sign that release form, and eventually, yeah, she did, and I I tried different testing and exams to get as more combat unit that I possibly could. Mm, I really wanted to be like the best soldier ever join Israeli military. Being in fire, like a kickboxing fighter back then, I was in pretty good shape. So I went to few testing days. It's like, yeah, few days of testing. They test you the physical testing and psychological evaluation. I wasn't passing anything, and it was super weird to me because I was in pretty good shape and I was one of the first ones to run and to carry weights and everything. And by the end, I always get denied. I didn't know I didn't know what was wrong with me, what I'm doing wrong, but I continued trying, and in some point, I was able to pass the paratrooper test. They consider like high level unit in Israel, uh, and in November 27, 2003, I joined a paratrooper unit. I started my training. It wasn't very hard for me physically, even though it was hard, but harder for me was like not showering and sleeping outside and all that stuff, heat and cold. Wasn't used to that, but it takes about a year to become like fully trained paratrooper in Israel. I done all my trainings and joined the unit pretty much. I was doing very good and trying to carry the weight when everybody was tired and everything. I was marked as outstanding soldiers almost everywhere we went to, and yeah, I were considered like a very, very good soldier. And I wouldn't get a commander course, and that's something everybody wanted to get because it would get easier for me to get a job when I get outside the military. It's a free military service, pretty much. How crazy this sounds. So, uh, yeah, you're doing it for, yeah. People were smoking. It was barely enough for them to buy cigarettes. Uh, Training like that, and I was working out, and I wanted to go and continue military career after I'll be done. And slowly I got almost to the end of my service, not even really excited what's happening, and I kind of felt like, I mean, I wasted time in my life just doing pretty much nothing. 3 years. Uh, and I was already looking for a job when I get out. I had about 2 months left of my service before I actually get out. And Second Lebanon War just started. The Israeli patrol vehicle was driving on the Lebanon border, got exploded. I'm not sure it was like anti-missile or anything else, but it exploded. The Hezbollah, they captured two dead bodies. We didn't know it back then, but it was the two dead bodies, and they took it back to Lebanon. Israel tried to retaliate. It didn't go well. A few soldiers got killed, and they blew up, I believe, a tank. And slowly, with something relatively small, it escalated to full-size war in the Middle East. And we were stationed in Hebron back then. I was just training for my test that I might be able to take when I gonna be testing for some special units in police forces or military. I wasn't sure what I want to do, but I didn't know that I want to stay in special forces. It didn't matter to me what it's going to be, what branch or what it's going to be. And I believe it was July 24th, 2006. We got like a vacation to go home. And that's pretty much where my story starts. So I took my stuff, I went home, I came, and it was such a weird feeling. I couldn't do anything, and I only had like 2 or 3 days at home. Couldn't really do anything. Was walking back and forth at the house, tried to watch some movies. I don't remember what I was doing, but it was just not feeling right. And about 2 in the morning, I couldn't fall asleep. I said, okay, it's very stupid. I just wasted a day at home. I was just gonna go to sleep, wake up tomorrow morning. I'm gonna go do my workout. I run on the beach, go see some friends, and pretty much start my little vacation at home. And as soon as I got into bed, my commander back then, he called me and he said, okay, tomorrow morning we're all getting back to the base, and we're going moving up to Lebanon, and we're gonna be joining the war. Some point it felt to me like it's a good thing. Today being 4 years old, I understand how stupid it is, but it felt like, okay, that's my chance to really give to the country and really do something that matters. It's a big deal. So I went to sleep, got up in the morning, got to the military. I saw immediately there's something serious going on, because I saw some warehouses that had never been opened. They opened up, and we started getting some equipment they would not usually get, like heavy equipment. We were stationed in Hebron before that, so we didn't need that many of the heavy stuff, but we started getting like anti-tank missiles and all that stuff. I understood immediately, okay, that thing is serious, but I was kind of all for it. So we got all that stuff, and we went up north to fill out the landscaping out there and nature, see how you deal with all these green trees and rocks, and how movement gonna be and everything. Took us about 2 days they give us about 2 days to fill it, and we move to the border. And the plan was to get at night without being seen to the village called Maron Aras, if I'm not saying it right. Yeah, I don't speak Arabic, so sorry. We got into the buses at night, and we drove to the border. I don't know where it was, just a lot of TV vans and flashes and reporters and everything like that. So obviously we couldn't get in without being seen, so we got back into the buses and drove some other place. and got into Lebanon. The road was pretty hard. I had to carry very heavy bag. It was super heavy. I couldn't really move. It was about my body weight. So yeah, no one really wanted to take that bag. So I was the one volunteering. Like I said, I always wanted to be like the best soldier, and that's pretty much meaning doing the hard stuff. Uh, we were walking to Moronaras. We got into the house. Nothing really was going on. No, I could hear some shooting, but I didn't see anything. Nothing special. And after that, we moved further into Lebanon to city they called Binjbel. This city actually had like very hard fights, but we we got into it. We got into the building like a house because the strategy was we would move at the night time. At the daytime, we'll get to the house, and because we've not been seen this way, and kind of protect ourselves there, like get some sleep. And at night we move again because during this advance as Israeli military, they have a lot of night vision stuff. So most of the things we try to do at night. And I didn't really know what's going on back then, how unorganized the military was. Uh, just today, I'm thinking when we went in Lebanon, no one told us what we're going there for, what we're trying to do, what's the main goal. I mean, obviously, today you understand that you can just go into the country and find two dead bodies. They've been captured by terrorists. It's not something you can do, no matter how many soldiers you put in. But I didn't understand fighting like a lot weaker enemy. We thought we actually very strong military, very good, but this war actually proved me that it's not true. We're not as strong as everybody likes to think. I'll see. So what made me understand that, and at night I was put like in charge of the house for a couple hours at night. So I'll go around the house and check that no one is uh, people that actually on duty, they're not sleeping and everything like that. And I'll start seeing like crazy fight going on another mountain. We were kind of on top of the mountain, and there was a valley and mountain like in front of us. And I'll start seeing like crazy fight going on. I could see like tank missiles being shot and automatic fire and everything. And I'll ask my commander like what's going on out there, and he said, "Oh, don't worry about it. It's our forces. It's all under control." And when I woke up in the morning, we found that 8 of our soldiers got killed. They made me understand that no one really knows what's going on out there. We don't really have a plan. We don't really have nothing nothing organized. I would say that. Keep Next day, we tried to initiate attack on the house. The commander chose the house, and we just got into it, and we attacked the house. It was empty, so yeah, just to get more strategic place, I guess. We got in, and out there from not eating, I started kind of falling asleep, like losing. And yeah, I remember like I was so tired, and I didn't have like normal meal for about 3-4 days already. Yeah, because we started getting short on food, and a lot of guys, they weren't very organized with food, so they just wanted something to snack on, and to just open a meal and take some stuff from there. So everybody keep doing it. It's a lot of people. Our unit, we had about, I don't know, close to 90 people. everybody keep doing it. In a couple days, you're not gonna have enough food left. So I didn't wanna eat also because we started getting to the point when people started actually arguing about food, and I said to myself, I'm a little bit about that, and I'm gonna argue about food with my friends. So I just didn't eat for like a day, and with like the physical challenges that walking and carrying bags, and I remember sitting on a bag and I just kind of fell asleep, when I can't just maybe, I'm not sure. And how I woke up, one of my friends, he gave me like a plate of rice because they found rice in the house, and it still had a little bit gas in the house, and they were able to make some rice, so we were actually able to eat. It was great. Stay in that village for, I think it's a city, for about another couple days. Also, nothing else has happened, and we get kind of to withdraw back to Israel. That shows me again that they really know what they're doing, and it's just a mess. And we really got in, didn't do anything in getting out, but yeah. Another thing, yeah, before we got back, we ran out of everything pretty much. So we had like helicopters delivering food and water to us, but yeah, didn't get attacked. So it actually went pretty quiet and nice. And we withdrew back to Israel. I had about 2 days break, get the ammunition back, and regroup kind of thing. And on I believe it was, yeah, by the days it was July 30 or 31st. Yeah. So we got into the village called Aita Shaib. The plan was that we walked there at night. It was about a little over half a mile from Israeli border. The plan was that we would walk there at the night time again, and the daytime we will settle and be ready kind of for the fight, because we're already inside the houses and kind of controlling the village. Since it was again very unorganized, it took us all night to walk this half a mile, and except getting there at night, we got into the village when the sun started coming up. And I was in front unit, so I walked in front of all the soldiers. So I had a radio, and I could hear like shots everywhere, and I could hear people on the radio saying, "Oh, yeah, we had someone got shot here, some injury out here," and I could hear one of the soldiers. Since you're not a medic, you can't confirm that. So I could hear we have soldiers that have been injured and not breathing. I immediately understood that this soldier is dead. They just can't say it. I couldn't really focus on that because so much was going on, but it's actually a very sad thing. And I knew that guy very good. We weren't best friends or anything like that, but I knew that guy was very good guy. And yeah, it's horrible, but we went into the house. A commander, like main commander of our group, got shot in a helmet, and the bullet cut his neck. So he wasn't dead or anything like that. He couldn't. He could continue commanding on the force, but he couldn't really fight anymore. So he just lay down and be on the radio, but he couldn't really do anything physical anymore. And his second guy, he ran to replace him, and he got 2 AK bullets into his leg, Yeah, he actually was in a lot of pain. He couldn't really do anything. He needed to get some drugs, and yeah, he was really he was really in pain. I could hear him like just suffering, and we couldn't get him out. We got him into the house, and he was safe, but yeah, he was really in a lot of pain. Checking the house, I went to check a room, and I got shot, and then I stepped outside, and I was 100% okay. But I could swear that I did get shot right now, and I put the hand under my t-shirt. There was no blood, so I look, and my thermal vision binocles had a bullet inside. It was probably like maybe 9 millimeter or self-made gun. They have those too. And the guy was standing outside, and when I got into the room, he shot me from inside, but didn't do any damage. I had the bulletproof vest, but it didn't hit that either. It had the binoculars for thermal vision, and we could hear a lot of fighting going on, a lot of shots, but I wasn't really engaging. Really not for me, just trying to see that no one gets into the house. We're about, I don't know, 30, 40 people inside this house. And yeah, not was a lot of fighting was going on, but not that crazy for us. And by the end of that day, uh, we had to get all the people that got injury out, plus the dead guy outside of that village. So we had like about, I would say, 30% of the unit. They took these injured soldiers and they walk outside, bring them back to Israel over the border. So I told myself, okay, we obviously not doing very good out here. We probably should withdraw, or I don't know. It obviously doesn't go as planned. But they told us to keep moving closer to the inn and to the center of the village. I didn't agree with it, obviously, but no one was asking me. So we'll start moving more into the center of the village. At night, the Hezbollah was doing really nothing, so pretty much moving free, nothing was going on. And by the morning, they told us to capture the building and check it that there's no one there. We did. There was a building that looks like all the unit, like about, I don't know, 50 people can get in. We checked that, and it was clear. Everybody got there, and when the main commander, he was walking in the back again, he got in. He said the windows are pretty big, and we're not able to defend ourselves here very good. So we need to go check out the building and get everybody out there. And it was already sun was coming out. We walk was really next building, so it wasn't too far, but it was already kind of light outside. It was a two-story building, two-story like apartment building, built around the yard, like pretty similar to like apartment complexes out here. I just didn't have a pool, nothing nice. It was probably for poor people, kind of thing. We got in. We went on the second floor. We checked it. It was all clear, and then we left. Main number of soldiers, like mostly everybody, stay on the second floor in one of the apartments, and we were about 15-20 people, and four of us, we went to clear the first floor. It was about It was six apartments on each floor, so I went to check and clear those, and we're walking downstairs. I was walking second behind the officer, and as soon as we step outside, I saw the terrorist standing on the second floor in another building, but it was very close, and looking at me, and I'm looking at him, and it was so crazy. It was probably like half a second, but it felt to me like years just standing and looking at each other. Uh, since he was higher than me and his gun was in a better position, I moved back and he started shooting at us. One of the bullets hit the wall, and one of my friends had pieces of the wall into his nose. It's completely destroyed his nose, and he covered nose like that, and we were just standing behind the wall. He's still shooting at us, but it doesn't go through. And I told him, my friend, like, let me see what's going on. And when he opened, blood just pour on me. I'm like, oh, close it. And we decided that we try to shoot on that guy, and they will run to the apartment when everybody's sitting at. We start shooting at him, me and the officer, and two of those guys, they ran into the apartment and they made it. And me and the officer, we stay behind that wall, and we didn't know what to do. And we said, okay, let's run to that apartment because we can get out. He's shooting at us. And we just start running. It was unbelievable. Like, I will run and I'll see bullets just hitting the wall next to me, next to my legs, but nothing hit me, luckily. So able to make it to the apartment. And we were just in an apartment, and we could hear fights going on, but nothing really, no one attacking us. And it was so crazy to me because I thought we like the closest place inside, kind of like the closest unit that inside the village. How we're not getting any fire or anything like that, but it was going on. We were sitting, and yeah, we could hear shots, and again on the radio, hear this guy got injured, another guy got injured, and about 11, about 11 in the morning, I was sitting next to the entrance door to the apartment talking to my friends, and he was just on that door with the machine gun. And as we're talking, I could see something moving on my side because he's looking at me and I'm looking at him, and door there. And as soon as I saw it, I look outside and I saw a terrorist walking downstairs on the first floor with the RPG on his back, and very, very close, I don't know, 20-30 feet, maybe a little bit more from where we're sitting at. So obviously he didn't know we're there. So I got up and I walk with him. As he walking outside, I'm walking with him inside the apartment, and he comes to another guy, another terrorist that's standing out there, and they just start talking to each other. And I just touch whoever I could touch, and there was that officer that we ran together, and I showed him. We didn't talk, so yeah, he didn't hear us. And we aim at those guys, and he told me, you take right, I take left. And he counted back, and we shot them. They both fell behind that wall. And at that point, because I saw him for like a long time, I saw the RPG, and in my head, like, they'll come to get this RPG, and they'll for sure come to at least take their guns, because I think both guys were dead. So I'll lay down behind the underneath the window that I shot from, and every once in a while I'll get up and I'll look if anyone coming to take his stuff, and lay down, and I had that feeling that someone looking at me. I don't know how to explain that, but I did have that feeling, and I wasn't getting out too much, so I'll just look at the window. It was a curtain and the wall here, so maybe that much space, and I'll look, no one there, but the feeling that someone looking at me wouldn't leave me. So one time I got up and I started coming outside and looking who is out there, and here I missed the sniper on the roof. Keep moving back, keep moving forward. I feel very hard on my chest, hard like a hit, and I flew back maybe 2-3 feet. I understood obviously that I got shot right now, but because all this area was hot, I thought to myself, probably got maybe hit on the shoulder or my arm. I'm just gonna put some bandage, I don't know, and keep fighting. And I tried to stand up, and my body wouldn't move. Nothing would move. So I didn't know what to do. I also couldn't move, so I just lay down, and I start feeling someone grab me on my waist and just start pulling me to another room, and I could hear shots everywhere. And one of the guys said his lung flew out. When I heard that, I said, okay, well, that's pretty bad. I probably not gonna make it alive. And they immediately start cutting my vest and my shirt and put a bandage. The hole in the back was maybe about that big. Entrance is usually smaller, but so they had to take a rock, put like bandage on it, and put it inside to stop the blood, but it wouldn't work. And we were being taught that if someone got shot, you have to talk to him and not let him fall asleep. So they'll talk to me, but what happened is the bullet punctured my lung and hit my spine. That's why I couldn't move. So in order to talk, I needed to get air in and out, and it was extremely hard for me. But they keep talking to me, and I'll try my best to answer, but it was no air to talk. It was very hard for me. And at some point I told one of the guys who tried to talk to me, it was actually one of my best friends back then. He was a medic, and I told him, yeah, I probably gonna die. And he said, no, you're gonna be okay, and we still gonna go to Thailand after that. And at that point I started being in and out, kind of falling asleep. And they keep talking to me, and one time trying to answer, I could see I was laying down on the floor, and I could see blood start coming out of my mouth. And slowly I kind of fell asleep. What happened after that is they were asking to get me out of there, but since the fight was going on, the head of the room I was sitting at, they shot 8 RPGs into the room, and wall fell down. They start getting shots, and bullets just start going through the walls. Terrorists start attacking that place. As far as I know, my friend had to kill a lot of people that trying to get inside, and the army, they sent tanks to get me out that place. Uh, so tanks came behind the building, and my friends needed to take me on a blanket, put me on, and carry downstairs as they're being shot on from the building in front of it, put me on a tank, and get back there. I don't know how, if it was possible to do that thing look a lot like Black Hawk Down movie. But they did put me in a tank and came back. But after that, this tank got shot with RPG. So they had to get out again, get me out of this tank, put me on another one. And they did that. So only because of that, I'm still alive. That's the really only reason. And they're able to do all this and get back into their apartment. Tanks took me to the border from their helicopter, took me to the hospital. The doctor that did the surgery in that apartment, they needed to bring a doctor who cut me and synchronized the pressure. I believe, I'm not a doctor, but I do have a scar here. They told me that he needed to cut it, so some air came out when he did. The doctor who did actually surgery out there, and I don't know, he was able to get into that apartment. I don't know how they did that, because as far as I remember, they were shooting so much into that building. I don't think it was even possible to get close to it. And the doctor said to my friends, he probably won't live. He's not gonna live. And I was in coma for 4 or 5 days. And when I woke up, I couldn't move, and I was just sitting, like laying in bed for 2 weeks. I couldn't get out of bed, so I had to pee and pull myself, because I couldn't move. And as I was in a hospital, war still was going on, so I could hear the bombs and the rockets were flying, and I could see more injured soldiers coming in, and I was in the room, and on the right side of me was a guy. He was just burned completely out. He couldn't talk. He had no fingers. People had such horrible injuries out there. It was very hard for me to look at that. And at some point, I wanted to get up of the bed so much. My parents would do 12 hours sitting with me next to my bed, and people just come to visit me and bring me a bunch of stuff that I couldn't eat or drink, like Coke and potato chips. I couldn't have any of those. And I asked my mom, she was in there, if she can help me to get up, because I really want to go to the bathroom. I just wanted to walk again. It was so important for me. So I tried to get up, and she helped me, and I just fell down on the floor. My muscles couldn't hold the body. The doctors came and helped her to get me back on bed. After about 2.5 weeks, I was able to stand up and walk a little bit, to at least to the bathroom and back. And because war was still going on, there was so many injured soldiers that didn't have room to this hospital to stay there anymore. So they transferred the hospital closer to my house, closer to the center of the country. There was no war going on out there. They transferred me. They did the surgery when they closed the entrance hole, and then they vacuumed the inside, because it was just like a tunnel inside of my body. And they closed it on the backside, Uh, and at some point they told me, okay, you good to go home, and we just need you to come back in a week or two to get out the stitches. Immediately, as soon as I got the news that I'm going home, the army told me, okay, we have to release you from the military. You have to go tomorrow, really next day, and kind of sign paperwork that you're getting out. So I remember walking into the military base, signing all this paperwork, and they told me, okay, you're done, goodbye. The army, they paid me not a lot of money, but they pay like a paycheck, like a monthly paycheck for a few months, and then it stopped. And I'll try to get a job. I'll be fully recovering. It took me a long time to recover too, because in the beginning I was in such depressed. So I'll just go home from that place that got out of the military. I went home and I just started drinking for about 2 weeks. I wouldn't even step on the floor. I just wake up, whatever it's gonna be, drink, watch some movies, and from the computer chair go back to the bed. And I was going for a few weeks, but then I said that it's enough, and I can't go with that. My parents also didn't know what to do with me, because the psychologist the military gave me was horrible. He wouldn't do anything. Every time I come to him, he said, "Oh, tell me what's going on." So I'll tell him all the story, and he'll tell, "Yeah, it's hard." I mean, really nothing. It didn't help. And after I understood that no one will help me, I just started taking care of my health and try to recover. So I started walking and swimming to get the muscles back, because I couldn't even lift the cup of coffee off the table because all this muscle was gone. I start working. I start running slowly. Then we flew to Thailand with my friend. When I got a little bit better, we flew to Thailand like he promised me. We kind of had to do it. I didn't really have a lot of money for that, but since that's what he told me, I couldn't say no. So we went to Thailand and we came back. I felt like I owe it to him at least, because he saved my life. And I tried to get a job, continue maybe like a military career, because I fully recover. I started training again, and I was getting ready to compete. I was fully recovered. I worked very hard. I work out about 8 hours a day. I'll wake up, I go to swim, then I come home, rest, then I run, then at night I go to kickboxing training. I was fully recovered, but they wouldn't take me to work. I couldn't get through, because by the military paperwork, I was like a handicap, and no one would hire me, and I will go to different agency, correctional officer and police and intelligence and everything, and Minister of Defense, all type of things, and no one would hire me, and I was feeling stuck. And at that point, I started feeling like I did so much for the country. I almost died for them, and they wouldn't even give me a job. I didn't want any money. I could have played myself a lot more injured than I really was, and get more money from them, but from the army. But when they asked me, "Yeah, you're probably gonna get good money," I said, "No, I don't want any money at all, because I didn't do it for the money. I did it for the country, and I didn't fight for money." So I got very small. very small compensation for the being shot was enough to buy, not even enough to buy a new car. That's all I got. And no one would hire me. And the only place I could feel myself again, it's the kickboxing gym. Keep working out. I got some shitty job, security at night. It was really horrible. And I'll keep training and fighting and still trying to get through that system and get a job, but no one would care. No one would give me any option to apply an interview. And I kept trying and trying, and they said, okay, you have to reverse that you've been injured, that you recovered, and it just wasn't possible. I'll keep going. I didn't have a car, so I'll take the bus every time, and I asked them, and they wouldn't do anything. The system didn't care about me really. But in training, I was doing pretty good, and in 2009, I won Israeli championship in kickboxing. And after that, I just decided to. I can't do it. I mean, I keep trying to get back into the military, and they just won't accept that. So I decided that they're gonna leave the country and they're gonna go to the United States. I had a friend in Las Vegas. He was able to help me, and he wanted to help me to move. And I moved out here, and I fully recovered. I kept fighting, and I got out of it. And even though a lot of doctors that I talked to, they said, "Oh, you're never gonna be able to fight anymore, and you can do some sport, but you have to be very limited, and nothing like kickboxing." I kept fighting. I won 3 years after I got shot. I won Israeli national championship. I moved out here on extraordinary ability. I won West Coast Muay Thai Championship out here, and I fought for title a few times on MMA and Muay Thai, and I fully recovered and feel healthy and get back to myself. I don't think it's any limitation to what I can do. So hopefully it gives you guys motivation that if you really want to do it and you're ready to put time into it and you believe in it, you can do it. Thank you very much.